Welcome to the Coaching Coordinator Podcast. I'm your host, Keith Grabowski, and this is our Quickcast series. What is a Quickcast? You already know the Coaching Coordinator Podcast for interviews that touch the many areas of the skill set and mindset that makes a successful coach. In our Quickcast, we focus on a coach's most powerful insight on a single topic. We pull out the most useful, interesting, and helpful ideas into an episode you can consume in 15 minutes or less. It's our up-tempo version of the podcast. With a library of over 1,000 episodes, we have plenty of these nuggets to share with you to help you improve your own mindset and skill set as a coach. Enjoy. Today's episode is a Quickcast with Matt Rhule. Special thanks to Texas High School Coaches Association and CoachTube. This is from prior to the 2019 season. The entire talk, which includes a section on leadership and branding, as well as Coach Rhule's clinic on winning in the red zone, are available on CoachTube. Shownotes can be found in your app, in the episode description, or on our new home for the podcast, coachandcoordinator.com. Coach Rhule clearly defines his role as a head coach. Certainly, this definition can apply to a coordinator or position coach or anyone who is a leader.
For maybe some of the assistant coaches that want to be head coaches, I think these are things that over the last 4 years as a head coach, I came in with, when I first interviewed at Temple, I had a book about that big to be the head coach, and I had every quote, every whatever, and when I interviewed to be the head coach at Baylor, I walked in with not a thing in my lap. In my brain, I knew exactly what I think it takes to be a great head coach, and it starts with leadership. Okay, so here's what I would say about leadership. Here's my job as the head coach at Baylor. It's to make sure that everyone has everything they need to do their job. That's for me going out and, just like you guys have a booster club, we have a booster club. That's me identifying, hey, this is what we don't have. And going out and fighting tooth and nail, working with my athletic director, working with all of our assistant coaches to make sure that everyone has everything they need to do their job. No player, no coach, nobody can say, hey, I don't have the tools necessary. I don't have the resources. And after that, it's making sure everybody's doing their job. That's my number one goal. Is as I walk through our halls, everybody is efficient. Everybody's doing exactly what they said they're going to do. If I do those two things, if I provide everyone the resources they need, and then I demand that everybody's being excellent day in and day out, including myself, then I'm providing leadership. It's not the speeches I give. It's not the cool slogans we have. It's not the t-shirt. That, to me, is being a head coach.
As Coach Rhule points out, the direction of your leadership all starts with a single question that every leader must understand.
And then beyond that, it's establishing and developing the vision. Starting with the end in mind, making sure our kids understand, hey, this is because all of our kids now, when they come and they sit in front of us, when they sit in front of you, that vision that they have is of them getting drafted in the first round and playing in the NFL. And I want them to have that vision, but I also have to have a vision of where they're going to be as a team, where we're going to get together. I have to establish and develop that vision, and it starts with one simple question to me. And it's my first night talk every year at Temple, and it'll be my first night talk tomorrow night at Baylor. It starts with this question: why? Why are we here? Why are you doing what you do? And do you have the right reasons? I'll tell you this, most kids that play for us have the wrong why. They're playing college football, they're waking up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., they're doing all that, and their why is their family. Their why is the money someday, and that's all cool things. But if we want to be great coaches, if I want to be a great head coach, and I don't understand the why of each and every kid on my team, if I don't understand why they do what they do, what drives them, I'm never going to be a good coach, and I'm certainly not going to be a good leader. And as a program, if our kids don't understand why is Coach Rhule there, why is Coach Saravo there, why is Coach Fran there, if our players don't understand each and every coach's why, and if they don't understand the why of the program, we're never going to be successful. So as I have gone out and interviewed for head coaching jobs, it's always been, let me tell you, before I do anything, let me tell you why I'm here. And let me tell you why I want to be the head coach at Baylor University. And let me tell you why I'm going to do things the way I do it. That's the first question we ask.
An important part is finding out the why for each player and helping them understand the reason for being part of the program. Coach explains that here.
We tell our kids, why are you here? The more you have to play for, the better you play. The more you have to play for, the better you play. I had a brief interlude where I had a chance to go coach for Tom Coughlin at the New York Giants. And the thing that, I wasn't good enough to be an NFL player, obviously. You might not believe that by looking at me. But the thing that I learned from those guys as I listened to those guys in the locker room was the greatest time in their life was playing high school football. The second best time in their life was playing college football. And then they had a job playing in the NFL. Where you play on Sunday, and on Monday you go in and watch the film, and on Tuesday, your day off, they bring in 25 guys to replace you. You're playing for a job, you're playing for money. But it's the why of playing high school and college football. The more you have to play for, the better you play. The more fun you have, the better the experience is. Why are you here?
We have to have our why as coaches. It starts with us. Coach Rhule shares his why while he was at Baylor.
As I stand there and as I talk to my athletic director, my donors, but most importantly, my team, why is Matt Rhule the head coach at Baylor? Why does our program is this? We want to build something great. We want to build great men. Just like every one of you guys do. I tell you what, the best thing I did this summer, I try to read a lot of books, is I read Clinton Rutledge's book, The Classroom. Just a step-by-step manual from Coach Rutledge about how to teach young people to be winners, how to teach young people to be effective men, step by step, day by day, and we're going to do that this preseason because we want to build great men. We want guys coming back to us saying, thank you for everything that you did for me. Thank you for teaching that. We want that just like you guys have that. And we all know so many kids nowadays, they really don't know what it is to be a man. We were taught way differently than they are, so it's our job to fight to make sure that we build great men. We want to build a great program. The thing I tell our kids is this: I'm in charge of the program. This is my program, but this is your team. This is Fran Brown and Mike Saravo and Elijah Robinson and David Wetzel. This is our program. We set the foundation for the program. We establish the rules and the parameters, but this is your team. For you seniors, it's going to be your last team. So we want to build a great group of men. We want to build a great program, and we want to build a great team. That's our why.
The formal representation of the why for Coach was in his mission statement. He shares that and breaks down what that means for how they will develop each player.
We want to build a championship caliber program that competes for championships, major bowls, and the college football playoff, develops NFL caliber players, graduates as players, and is an impactful member of the campus and greater Waco community. I want everyone to know exactly what we're doing, starting with the end in mind, what our vision is. Why are we here? Our program, and this is what's important, after you tell them the why, you got to tell them the how. Because we love the kids, but we are a very direct, honest, real, hopefully group of guys. So they need to know how. Our program is built with an intense focus on developing student athletes to be the best they can be athletically, academically, and socially. By recruiting and developing outstanding student athletes, we will develop the most competitive, industrious, and enthusiastic football program in the country. That's an ode to John Wooden. This intense focus on the student athlete is a day-by-day process of investment, evaluation, feedback, correction, motivation, and energy. I want our kids to know, hey, this is why we're doing what we do. And you know what that second paragraph says? We're going to tell you each and every day what you're doing wrong. We're going to tell you each and every day what you're doing that's not good enough. And I want you to know why we're doing that. Because we want you to be great. But as we try to develop our kids to be the best men they can be, we want to develop them to be the best man, the best student, and the best football player. As a man, we want to develop their work ethic, their mental toughness. I want them to learn to give back to the community, like treating people better than you treat yourself. Compassion, how you treat others, accountability, and honesty. You know, I don't know how our coaches, they go, you know what that makes me upset about college coaches? We sit here and say, you know what, we're going to teach your kids how to be honest. We're going to teach your kids how to follow the rules. And we talk about kids being entitled. We talk about kids have changed. And you know what the first thing the college coach does? They come to your school and they break the NCAA rule the first time they meet the kid. They go in and sit with them. It's a dumb rule, I think, no offense, but it's a rule. And then we turn around and we don't follow the rules because we say, you know what, well, I'm a college coach. I coach here, I coach there. That rule doesn't apply to me. Then we wonder why kids say, well, I'm a great player. These rules don't apply to me. You want to teach a kid how to be a man, act like a man and be honest, be accountable, follow the rules. I hope as our coaches come in there, they don't break those rules, whether we like them or not. To become a great student, attendance and participation, study habits, confident. You know how many kids get to college and the reason why they don't do well in schools, they're just not confident. They're afraid that they're not good enough. We got to give them confidence. Got to teach them how to be leaders. Internships and networking. Make sure they meet people, their life is set up, and then finally help them get a career. And then football, we have to build their strength. We have to build their speed and agility. We have to teach them how to be a pro and prevent injuries, skill and technique. If you come watch us, people that have come watch us practice, there is an intense focus on our staff with skill and technique, scheme knowledge, and finally football intelligence. That's what we spend 24 hours a day working on, that right there. That's what will make us successful. That's our why, and that's what we're focused on.
Thanks again to the Texas High School Coaches Association and CoachTube for this great segment from Coach Rhule's talk. Again, the link to the full talk is in the show notes, and I highly recommend it. Show notes can be found on our new home for the podcast, which includes our articles and information about our new free digital magazine, Coaching Coordinator Monthly, which will be released soon. Follow me on Twitter at Coach K. Grabowski, and check out our Instagram for football coaches, footballcoaching_com.